evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
AKA
Henry and Sangita.
So, today, starting us off,
Is Steven.
how dare you interrupt me?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're going to read it?
I guess.
Yeah, interrupt me again.
Thank you, Christian Waters, the owner of Bilgewater Miniatures, for pushing me to paint again. Getting ready to head west next week doing a Phoenix and having to use transparent paint, something I myself had not done. Again, thank you, Christian. Well, I thought it was the model came like that.
No. I realised it when I saw it down here. You can see some little cracks in here, but I think it looks really good.
Yeah. The fade is pretty spot on.
Yeah. I'd say it looks pretty good. There's not much that I can really say on this one because I don't know Steven's aims, nor do I know really how to work with transparent paint as well. I shouldn't say transparent paint, transparent models as much.
Yeah.
I feel like, we've got the Ghost Dragon from Dungeons and Lasers, and I was thinking about how I was going to do it up, and I just thought to myself, I got no idea. So I think what I'll say is, the fade is quite nice.
Yeah.
But other than that, maybe just some white up the top. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very difficult to advise with a transparent model because doing certain methods that you would do with solid models may not apply.
Yeah. I guess it's hard when you've got no idea. All right, so next up we have C.N. Williams, and he has finished his brain bug.
Yes, he was very excited to hear our thoughts.
Yes, okay, so would you like to read out?
Apart from basing Astrogranite out of stock and some gloss brain slime, meet the High Fleet Kraken Neurotyrant.
Okay, so I think first off, when it comes to that Astrogranite, my dude, here is all you need. Literally all you need. Get some PVA, get some craft paint, mix it together. Astrogranite.
You missed out the sand.
Did I not say the sand?
You did not say sand.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, also sand with that. And all of a sudden you have Astrogranite. So, I don't think this is the best shot. I do think he's got better shots. I think this one we can see a bit more of it. But GW struck again with its case of tactical rock. I just wish that it wasn't a rock. I wish that it was a Tyranid pipe or something like that instead of that, because it makes it for this you've got to balance the model on it, and it makes it quite difficult, and it puts it in a specific area. So I think that the brain matter looks really, really good.
Yes.
But as for some of the other things, one of the big things I look at here, right? I think that I'm not as sold on those off-color highlights. What do you think on those?
Yeah, it is quite sort of... I know it doesn't look bad from afar, but when you're looking at it up close...
Yeah. I think your purple goo down here has come out really good, the sort of creeping tendrils and such. But I think those very broad highlights, either you're going to have to put a highlight within the highlights, or you're going to have to step it back a bit, make them not quite as broad. And I think that's one of the ways that you're going to have to go with this.
Yeah.
I think that the tentacles have come out well, but I think that they could be better. I think one of the things that he's done is he's put a contrast paint on the tentacles, but what he should do, right, it's just like that guy I did recently. I think I've got him here. I'll open him up, I think, on the other side. So I haven't actually posted this yet, but what I did was I did contrast paint, and then I did thin contrast paint up, and then I sort of highlighted up, and right at the very tip I did an actual paint.
Base paint.
Yeah, to darken it. And I think that'd be a good way. Like, I don't think these are the best shots of him. I'm not 100% on him, but you and the client seem to like him, so that's the main thing. The client's happy. But yeah, so as for that, I definitely think that the brain matter has come out really well. That's definitely his highlight. What he can improve, look, my dude, Astro Granite is one of the biggest rip-offs when it comes to GW.
It's just texture paste, right?
Yeah, it's just texture.
Yeah, even texture paste that you buy from the art shop is a rip-off. It is freaking expensive. I have seen the price of regular texture paste. You can just make it yourself with okay, so this is what we would do. You just grab a big.
We've got that highlight.
Yeah,
you know
but
what?
it's we haven't actually made a highlight on how to make the texture paste.
Oh, that's right. We were
halfway through it.
We were halfway through it, and then we had to scrap it, didn't we? 'Cause we had other things go on.
Yeah, correct. But essentially what you want to do is you can just go to your hardware store and buy coarse grade.
That's right. We were calling it Calido's Creme.
Yes, we were Calido's Creme. But you buy the coarse grade sand. It comes in a huge bag.
Yeah.
It's just because, you buy in bulk, you can make sand forever. You just buy that with a sieve set or just a regular sieve maybe, but I think our sieve is better. It's a graded sieve set.
We just got it from the Indian store.
Yeah, Indian store. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it up, and then you can actually use the different grades of the sieve because the holes are different sizes.
We did do a short on
that
how to do the sands.
I can post a video on making the sand, getting different grades of sand from that one bag of coarse sand. So you'll get a variety. You'll get big rock sand all the way to fine sand just with that one bag.
Yeah, and you just mix it together, right?
You got to tell them which grade of sand to use.
Well, you mostly want coarse sand, but essentially what you want is not the coarsest sand and not the finest sand. You want your mid-grade between those. Whatever the mid is in
we'll take a picture of that
in the funnels. But no, look, it's pretty simple. Basically, all you do, and it's okay to have a mix of some of the coarse and some of the fine in there.
Yeah.
You put some PV8, you put some craft paint in there, you mix it till you get the right color, dab it on, and Bob's your uncle, you got it. So I'd say that's how we can improve things for you. Just make your own Astro Granite. Stop buying it. My dude, like this, you're going to spend twice as much once.
Yeah,
you're going to get PVA, some craft paint, and some sand, and it's going to be a bag of sand that people will question why you have this much sand.
Yeah, and it's forever. It's forever Astro Granite. Okay, yeah. And the only thing you'll be topping up is actually just the craft paint.
And you won't be topping that up that often either because I mean, like,
you're not using that much of it.
Yeah, like I just mix it in a what are those? The plastic shot glass cups, are they?
Yeah, party shot glass cups.
Party shot glass cup,
ones,
and just make up whatever you want, whatever you want.
Whatever
all right.
You want.
So,
Brain is fantastic.
Brain is fantastic. You can improve with the Astro Granite and with the highlighting.
Yep.
Yeah. So
agreed.
Hopefully that was helpful for you, Cian. All right, so next up, Dearmud. Dearmud is doing a Davith and just showing off stuff.
He's just showing off boxes, not even models.
Well, yeah,
where's the models, man?
Yeah, where's the things? I don't see any pictures.
Ignore it.
Ignore. All right. Speaking of which, that's what they do with this one. Ignore it. All right. So next up, we've got
Lance. He's got some zombies.
Yeah.
So just a slow start back into it. Something easy. Who doesn't need a few more zombies?
So I think Lance has the same issues that he often does. So when it comes to these bases, my dude, listen to me. Just put the stuff on the base before you put the models on there.
Yeah, you gotta make your soil.
Yeah.
You gotta make the soil first.
You know, I think we really should do that Calador's crew.
Yeah,
show
we
it.
should, yeah.
Alright, so with this, I think that's the one thing that you could improve. Put the soil down first. With the zombies, I don't know about the zombie flesh, but I mean, like, what do you think?
I think they look pretty... Okay, I think they could look more dead. 'Cause I think the yellow that he's used, it's too warm. You want a very cool, ashy color. Yeah.
Maybe what he could do is do a purple contrast over it.
Yes. When in doubt, just use either green, blue, or purple to make something look more dead.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Henry's bone dragon. He made it like a flesh wings. They're meant to be deteriorated flesh wings, but he went with a flesh tone color, and it was like, it doesn't quite look dead, does it? And I said, honey, just put green over it. Trust me. And he's like, are you sure? Do it. And then it was like, oh, looks like dead flesh.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Purple fade.
So the woman says, listen to the wife.
Listen to me.
Yes.
I am your master.
Yes. So there's no surprises for anyone, but but I think that, like, as far as quick jobs go, they're good.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I feel the same as Sunny. I think that they need a different coloration for the flesh, considering how decayed they are.
I think the purple will do well for these guys. In fact, you could do a mix. You can mix. Some of them could be purple tinted, some can be blue tinted, some can be green tinted.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a variation there.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah,
All right, let us move on. All right, so next up, I
haven't watched this yet.
Well, I have.
Yeah, I know you have.
I actually really like this because what I want to do is I want to try doing this with the lion, but with green, and seeing how it will go. But the thing is, as you know, I'm well enough behind as it is. I'm behind in everything, all the time, forever. Ayo. Oh, and speaking of which, the reason why... it's Rando Goblin.
Stop it, honey. Mr. Random Goblin, please show us your Daddy Anakin update.
So, Daddy Anakin, a slur.
What's your comment, Mr. Random Goblin? Do you care to comment?
But it is really good. Once again, I think a lot of the same things that I've said are true about the other ones. Like, I think that he's got a lot of sort of fantastic stuff going on, especially with the skin, right? I love that 5 o'clock shadow. I think that's really good.
Unexpected.
Well, no. I
Anakin
guess.
has never had stubble. Never.
I don't know. I think he seems very Clone Wars to me at the moment. But I love the way that he's done the hair.
Yeah.
And also, I think that the brown highlights have come through really well. I think that the black highlights are a bit too much because it's starting to read as grey more than black, in my opinion.
No.
You not as much.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I really like that.
because no, like, you take a look down here, right, and that much more reads as black, and this to me reads more as grey than black.
I don't know. I feel like it works.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm just saying that it reads more as grey. Because remember that we're meant to be giving feedback for the people who are putting their stuff up, right?
Yes.
The feedback that
Randon.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Randon.
The feedback that he's going to want is going to be different from that of Lance, because Lance is trying to get out tabletop stuff, and he's trying for much more I would say, like, maybe this is his character level, but this I'd say is competition level,
Yeah,
here.
yeah, it is.
But maybe that's just his character level. It's very good at any rate, but the point is, I think that what we need to do is give appropriate level feedback. And for me, I take a look at this and I say that it reads more grey. I think this sash here, his sashet, like this one here reads more grey than black.
I think
but
it's
that down there definitely reads as grey to me.
I think it's like the highlight that he's used that maybe is throwing things off.
So I think he's trying to like give it some volume and such, right?
Yeah.
Which I totally understand. But like that's one of the issues with black, isn't it? It's always easy to go overboard.
Yeah. But I think that's why if I'm referencing Brushstrokes White video, it's the reason why he starts off with like a super pale gray instead of a mid gray, so that the gradation to white is very close together.
Yeah, but I mean, like with this, it's kind of the opposite. You start off with a pure black and then work your way up.
So you would want to use like just one shade darker or two shades darker tops.
Well, see, like this
gray.
highlight here, I get some of like the very sort of bright highlights. Like that makes sense because of the way he's trying to exaggerate reality when we were talking about verisimilitude and such. But yeah, I just feel like
I don't know.
This area reads far more grey. Like his back here reads as black, but some of the front areas will read as grey.
I think his robe was meant to be like a blue. A blue.
Well,
gray.
anyway, I think we've talked enough about this one because we've spent a bit of time.
Yeah.
But what you've done well, definitely the organic stuff. The hair, the face, the 5 o'clock shadow. Where you could work on is try to improve the black. Now, he might be trying for grey, but he'll be able to tell us in the next one. All right, so next up, we've got Mimo Seymour.
Look at that blue.
Yes, would you like to read out?
Massively WIP, but the ADHD has hit and new mini started. No, you should have said the ADHD has hit and started new mini, so it rhymes. Get it? Because WIP, ADHD, mini. So it rhymes. So you needed to switch the word around.
I think you might be ADHD.
No. Ultra's librarian. So a lighter blue than his mates. And because I love the blue, I think what he said.
Yes.
Yes, I love this blue too. It's so blue.
It is very bright.
I love it.
So I think what he's saying here is... anode diode high definition. Anode diode high definition. That's what he's saying.
Terrible.
But yeah, so we'll look forward to seeing where it's going, Mimo. But at the moment, he's right. Very much a work in progress. But look, all progress is good progress. When you're working towards your goal, it's a good thing. All right.
On to the next one.
Oh, yo!
Remember Monday.
These people, in this case, Liam Madshelf.
It's not Mad Shelf.
Madshelf.
It's Madishell, see?
Madishelf.
Madshelf, man.
Madshelf. Right. Did the opposite of what was requested and did not do up a...
nice.
Yeah, they do look nice. I think that the basings come together really well. I like the things, but I think that the lighting being backlit made it very difficult to take a look at all of them quite easily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do agree on that. But I think just by looking at it here, it's a very well done piece. And we can talk about it more if we had a bit of a better lit picture, right?
Yes.
Yes. Perhaps if Liam, you made a post.
Yes, perhaps Liam can make a post about such things.
Yes.
All right, so next up, we have Tyrone De Bono.
And he's my son of Peter Turbo. For the Iron Warrior enthusiasts out there, my first time sort of free handling the Yellow and black lines on the legs, not complete. Dodgy doo-doo. Oh, sorry, doggy doo-doo. But it's something I'll improve over time. I actually thought he used some tapes.
No, so I think they're slightly raised on the model itself. But let's take a look here.
Yeah.
So this is going to be one of the key features that he's wanting us to take a look.
It's pretty good.
I'd say that it's very controlled, very nice. Like I wouldn't be too worried about that. Like I think that you've done pretty well there. Like look, when it comes to these things, you've got to be brave some of the times. You've got to put in some work, and some of the times you've just got to hope, right? I think that you've done really well here. I think that the iron on the Iron Warrior has come out well with the dry brush.
Yeah.
I think that the yellow could be improved, right? But considering that this is your first time with it, don't give yourself too much of a hard time. You will improve with time if you just keep going with it. I think he's come together well. I really like this, so I know...
love the cape. It looks like leather.
Yes, it does look like leather. So I know how he's done this. He's dry brushed and washed and dry brushed again and dry brushed again, right? And it's a great technique for just getting that sort of leather look. But one of the things that I do like is how he's added a bit of that sort of sandy colour down to the bottom to give it the idea that he's walking through the scene. I think that that's come together really well. So what can you improve? Obviously, you can improve with your hazard lines, but that doesn't mean that you did badly. What you did well is, I like the cape. I think that's come together really well.
Very feature.
Yeah, I'd say that the irons come up pretty well. And that's just as through dry brushing. But yeah, I think that you're doing well, my dude. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
But yeah, you have done well,
Very
Tyrone.
nice.
Don't give yourself too much of a hard time on the hazard stripes. But what you should do is keep trying. Keep going with this. Don't let this be your first and only time. If you don't keep going with it, you'll start to lose those skills. All right, so next up we've got Cyan.
Took me the entirety of Saturday and Sunday, but managed to get 3 of the 5 Barb-Ganots painted. So much sub-assembly, it's unreal, but fun. And yes, Henry, there are more brains on these guys.
Yes, I think he was quite happy with my response to the brains, because I think like the brain came out quite well with his other one. So I think like here's an example, right? I actually like this highlight more than I like on his big guy. Even though it's broader, it's less. So see this one right here, where it's taking up the greater majority of it. I feel like if he did that deliberately with all of these, it would look a lot better.
Okay, so just the crown you're thinking.
Well, no. So what I'm saying is, right, because it's not fine enough in the fine ones, like over here, I don't think it comes through as well.
Yeah, that one was very precise, the one you're pointing at.
Well, see, the very precise one looks really good, but I think with this one right here, what you need to do is just work on your consistency, my dude. Because, like, I think that these... Oh, yes, I see the brains now. They have come out quite nicely. And see, the thing is, that's the issue, right? We know that once you get the technique down pat, you're all good.
Yeah.
And that's how things will come across, because I think that the bone and all of that has come together really well.
Yeah.
But I think that when it comes to the chitin, you just really need some work with that. And those broad highlights can be good if they're a part of a greater look. For example, you could do feathering, or you could do dry brushing, or something else. But as those really broad highlights, unfortunately, the closer you get, the worse they look. And like, I think that's the one thing that you need to work on, because if you can get that down pat, you will really improve your painting. So either make them much more broad and have them cover a greater area, or put highlights within those highlights, or just be more precise like you were right here on this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so you just want to be using the flat part of your brush at the tip.
Yeah. So, what he did well, the brains.
And he also did the bone.
Yeah, the bone did well.
Very nicely.
Yep. Well, we should say the sort of bone-colored flesh.
Yeah, I think the coloration and the technique is all great, except for once he started with the highlights on the red part.
Yeah.
Same as the other one, I think.
Yeah. So, well, we've said what he's done well, where
what
he
do you
can
need improve, yeah.
And let us move on. All right.
Ooh, Cal Vanoni.
And I think Cal took some feedback from last time, because you noticed that these ones have more of that
moss look is very nice.
And there's a greater degree of color variation on these guys, right? So you've got the skeletons and the bones and everything, right? But you see that there's some moss there. You see that there's some color variation between each of the bits. I think that they're looking quite nice.
Yeah.
So
they look like they're walking in a night forest scene, which is quite nice.
Well, I'm not sure about a night forest scene, but what I do think is they've got a good amount of separation. You know, they've got their shields.
One with verdigris, one with the moss.
Well, no, see, I just think the helmet, the shield, a cuirass is the sword. I've forgotten what that neck line thing is called. I thought it might be a cuirass, but I might be wrong on that. But all of the elements are colored different, which makes the model a bit more striking, and they do have a very nice cohesive look. But yeah, so what I think he's done well is the different, making them more separate, giving some coloration and some character to these shields. What could he improve? I guess add something more to the base, but as far as tabletop guys go, and that is what I believe Cal has been aiming for the entire time, I'd be pretty happy with that as tabletop.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like we always say, we are trying to help you with your goals, not with ours. We're not trying to impose anything on you guys. We're trying to help you with what you want to accomplish. So I think he's done really well. I think that the base
needs a few extra things, maybe.
Yeah, some tufts of grass or
some rocks,
some tombstones.
Tombstones, yes.
Something to give them a bit more character.
Yes.
But next up we have Genuine Vision.
Look at it coming.
And he says nothing here, so he doesn't care about us.
The Whippy Whips Day. Liv, you've seen so far. Here's 2 other thingies.
Okay, why is my computer like this? Okay, this is all very interesting. This is because you don't love us. This is what's caused this. Mr. Genuine Vision. I tried to click your thing.
Oh, open the pictures, honey.
I'm trying.
You can't click on it?
Now I can. It wasn't working before.
No, okay.
I don't know why. It's because he doesn't love us and he shared instead of
posting. Yes, honey, we understand. But look at how that ground has come up, and look at how he's done the rocks.
Yes. So I think the rocks are pretty much left from the zenithal that he did, which I think is good. Okay, what is happening here? It is not letting me move through these. Okay. Sorry guys, we just had to check on something. But oh, okay, no, it is shifting through them. There's just...
Is this a lag?
I don't know. I think we're going to have to move on from this one and just take a look here, because I think a lot of them look very similar with their posing.
Yeah.
But I think that it's we are starting to see where he's going with it.
Yeah.
But genuine vision. Stephen, show us that you love us and maybe post without the thing, I did.
He wants words, Genuine. He
Yes.
wants words on the top.
Yes, just like Davith here, he doesn't love us either, and he's doing more things. He's not finishing anything. He's not painting anything. He's just putting models together. That's it, Davith. I'm not gonna look at your models, okay? I'm not gonna look at the things that you're doing. All right? We're not going to look at what you're doing. We're not going to indulge you in what it is that you're doing. Harumph. Harumph, I say, Davith, who shares things rather than posts. No one loves us anymore. So I was hoping for some more comments on this one. There wasn't as many comments. Though Flanagan and Angela had a full-blown conversation in here,
I
along
have
with
to
you.
look at it. Well, yes. I think it's because, were you hoping for this to be... Oh, no, this is a question. We haven't actually started a topic on it.
Well, see, I did start a topic on it. I said,
No, you gotta
No, look.
say...
See, oh no, I clicked a thing.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
okay, it works. But see, I said, you could add stuff to the poll if you wanted. And I said, Stephen added some stuff and, such. But yes, I think we'll move on. So next up, we've got Joseph. And he's just doing the green in this guy, right? And what's really funny is, the Dragon King guy that he did with all the filigree?
Yeah.
This is actually the same color as the start of his skin.
Oh.
And if you look at this, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Because you'd look at this and you'd just be like,
Well, his final skin was almost like deep-kin flesh from Citadel Paint.
yes. So
I think
there's a long way to go from here, isn't there?
Yeah. We'll see how he gets there.
Yeah.
I really like the horns.
Yeah, no.
Perfect semicircle situation. Very cool.
Yes, we will see how it all turns out
Very
in the near
excited.
future. But I do think it's a very interesting work in progress because you get that idea of where it's going.
Yeah.
And how he compared that to his other one that he's
Yeah.
already done. All right, so next up we've got
Brianna.
Yes. And she's wrapping up the tower that she's doing, right? But I do think the thing is you're going to have to be brave and just go for it with some of those highlights. I think with this,
Yeah, there's quite a fair bit of pooling happening.
I think you might just be better off just doing basing and layering rather than doing...
the contrast, because like we say, contrast is not for beginners actually.
Yeah, well, we feel like it's not. So you go.
Yeah, because contrast actually requires a lot more understanding of how the paint moves.
Yeah.
Because it settles and dries very quickly, and it settles where the recesses are, right? So it'll end up pooling quite a fair bit, creating very dark spots where there's honey, I'm trying to say things.
Sorry, you go. Well, it's just I realised here, I think maybe she is doing base paints because you look here, right? There's highlights and that sort of thing.
I think she's trying to do a base contrast to create the recesses and then layer highlights on top.
Well, that area looks good. I like that compared to some of the other areas. I think that looks good. But you finish your point about the contrast.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying.
Well, we can sit in stunned silence. But I think that just try some edge highlighting. You're just going to have to be brave and just try it. I think that the colour scheme that you've gone for is really good. I think that it's quite striking, but you're just going to have to keep going with it. Look, we know that you're starting out. That's okay. But try and be brave. Try not to hold yourself back just because you're starting out. That's not going to help you as much. When you go for it, that's when you find all of your discoveries. That's when you find out, like, how good you can be.
Yeah.
But you were saying that there was pooling, and you were
Yes.
saying that it was going into the recesses.
So it tends to be very smooth over the raised edges, and then it starts to pool quite heavily in the recessed areas, which is exactly what it was built to do, right? But you need to know exactly how much to load your brush with it. You need to know how to control how much of the paint goes into recesses and pools in the way that you want it to, how to adjust it if it gets a bit out of hand. It's a very how do I say this, honey? Hard to control.
Yes, it's not an amateur thing, in our opinion. Mostly because, like, you want good results, but you're not always going to get them if you just slosh it on, which is what GW recommends, and we don't think that helps. We don't think that helps. All right, but I think we should move on. I think what she's done well is color choice, and where she could improve is by being bold.
Bold and add some highlights there, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you could try, if you're a bit too scared, get a fluffy makeup brush, load it up with a lighter color of for the highlight. Really rub that excess paint off onto a dry paper towel, and just do like a light dusting to get like a soft highlight look, and that might make you feel a bit help you make that first, put your foot forward in highlighting.
Yeah, so speaking of contrast paints, so I tried that out with some of these. I was trying out a new technique, right? And the thing is, this is a Zenithal Prime. I think that the Zenithal Prime actually came through really well with the ones that I didn't dry brush white, because I felt like it just wasn't going. But I realized that the final thing that I didn't do, which I did with the goblins, which made a lot better, was I didn't do the matte varnish over them. And once I did the matte varnish over them, they reacted a lot better.
Right.
I've got some updates with those. So these guys, there's, Tentacle Boy, and there's whatever this guy is.
We'll call him Meat Neck.
I think what we will call him is Steve.
Check it out. Look at Steve.
Yes. Steve had a very bad day.
All of them do.
Yes.
I do think, like, now that I'm looking at it, from the scroll, from looking at gray, black and white, and then suddenly looking at color, I think you've actually placed the colors that you've chosen very well with Tentacle Boy. Because, like, you've got all the right colors working for you there. You've got, like, the peachiness of the... Honey,
yes, but
I can't see the picture.
It can't be about us.
I want to talk about it.
Fine.
AC. You've got the nice sort of oranginess from the skin. Like, obviously it's not orange, it's the flesh tone. It's a bit like an orange undertone. And you've got that nice stronger orangey red. And it contrasts very nicely with the green on the, what is that? The right, lower right. Yeah. And then you sort of brought that diagonal eye attention up to the tentacle with the purple, which is like how you do the maleficent colors, the evil colors, purple and green, and like it catches the eye, and you move from green to this bright red to this nice purple, and it actually guides the eye very nicely, and I think it's nice to look at.
Well, it's okay-ish, but yeah. Let us move on. So
moving on.
We've got more Mandos by Random Goblin.
So, Whip Wednesday on a Tuesday around these parts. Bo-Katan and Clan Crazy, whatever, finished up the blues.
Yes, and the blues have come together quite well.
Nice.
But like it is so hard with him leaving the smoke till last.
Well, it's a whip.
I know it's a whip, but I mean like it's just like I feel like that the smoke is such a feature, and it's just like.
He's saving the best for last, honey. Obviously.
But is that freehand? Or
no,
is
it's
that
not. I asked him, and he said that it was all a recess in the model's helmet, and he just filled it in with the paint. And I was like, "Whoa, dude, you've got some freaking talent there, you know."
But I tell you what, the blues have come up very nicely. I very much like the volume that he's done with it, but I feel like these read more black. And maybe it's because, like, with this, I'm only... Oh, God, what has happened?
You're zoomed in at the wrong area.
Well. Anyway, the thing is that with this, I feel like the black still reads as black, even though he's done highlights with these, because you've got that other black to compare it to. So it feels like where it's catched the light, it's come through more.
Maybe
and it might be just a case of the model with Anakin being quite dynamic and just hard to put together. But that's, yeah, I don't know what to say.
It's very nice.
Oh, these are very nice, yes, but I was trying to give advice specific to what he was doing.
Yes.
Never mind, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we've got
Tyrone.
De Bono again.
And yes, Witness Day, some Uruk-hai.
Uruk-hai.
Oh, Uruk-hai, okay. Sounds like Urga, which is Tamil for Indian pickles, spicy pickles.
So the
Uruk-hai
is spicy pickles.
No, that's actually how you say it. Well, we say it with a bit of the slang, which we say Urga, but it is actually Uruk-hai, I think, because kai is like vegetable. Because it's pickled vegetables.
Alright, so Uruk-hai are spicy vegetables.
Spicy pickled veg of choice, of course. I've been putting together for a mate. Don't think I'm at the stage of confidence just yet to attempt a freehand on the white hand symbol on the shields or helmets.
Dude, just go for it.
Just do it!
No, but I'm serious. When it comes to this, right? Here's the thing. How will you ever know if you're going to get there if you
don't try it?
Yeah, like you might be a freehand master 5 years from now, but you're never going to know if you never start somewhere.
Yeah, and that's exactly the dilemma of the unconfidence. It makes you stop trying.
Yeah.
And you need to try if you want to know whether you're good or not at it. And if you're not, it's okay. You just keep trying till you get it.
So I do think he needs more stuff on the base. Yes. I don't like bases where the rim is the exact same color as the base itself. I think that makes things look a little off. But I feel like the steel is done very well. It's got that Uruk-hai look.
I think he has a very sort of signature style with the way he's done.
Well, he's just doing some dry brushing.
I know, but it has like, you know, when you see that particular dry brushing of the metal, you know it's Tyrone's work.
Yeah. But I don't think that there's anything wrong with it, but I do think what he could improve is the basing. I think when you've got that kind of basing and the rim is the exact same color, I think it takes away from your painting skills. I do think like more needs to be added to the base, because when there's that gap in between the sands, when it's just flat and it's nothing, it makes it more obvious that it's a model, especially when the rim isn't painted.
Right.
It doesn't feel as deliberate. It doesn't feel as controlled, I guess.
Yeah, it breaks the verisimilitude, essentially.
Breaks the verisimilitude, yes.
But
yeah. I think the steel's done well. I feel like it has a distinctive look. I feel like it's come together really well.
It has that texture of like, you know, Spartan armor kind of thing.
Like dinted metal.
Dinted metal. It's very nice. Like, you
Yeah,
don't
I
see
think-
that very often. So
I think it looks good, but I do think that definitely the bases... There's a reason why they say bases and faces make a model aces.
Yeah.
Right, and when a base doesn't look good, it really does take away from the hard work you put into the rest of it.
Okay.
But yes, so what you've done well, the metal, where you can improve the base.
Yeah.
All right.
Finally.
Oh, well, we can skip this one because...
Honey.
Okay, fine. You can read it.
Life intercedes and prevents me from picking up the brush as much as I would like. Still adding base coats and starting some highlights. I've had an issue with some white thinned too much and it has cracked in spots as it dried, so we'll need to fix it up. Lots of smudges on the bone to fix at the end too. I played with the jade elements to get a mottled stone feel, and I am happy with the way they look.
All right, let's take a look.
I feel like the jade effect has come out much more effectively with Peter's models as compared to Steven's models when he was trying to make the jade look. I think it's because there is less transparency. I think the transparency is very deliberate where he's placed, and then the other parts are very opaque green, which is what helps with the effect.
I'm having a lot more trouble with commenting on these models because of the light and how like it's backlit and all of that sort of thing. Like for me, I'm having a lot of trouble remembering it compared to where we were last time. So for me, a lot of it looks the same. I remember last time I commented on how I've forgotten what this crown patterning's called, the Tutankhamun crown patterning.
Yeah.
But like I remember that being good and it still looks good. I like the brass, I like the metal. I think that the jade's coming through nicely, but to be honest, I really have a hard time determining anything with the models being backlit and that sort of thing.
I wonder if these are finished because they look really finished to me.
Well, yes, but remember he's really trying to go for it with these ones, right? So I think once they're in a light box, once they're in somewhere where the light's more controlled, because like at the moment I'm really having trouble like determining what he's done and that sort of thing, because the bone is so bright that it is hard to tell where there's highlights. Like if you take a look at this crocodile compared to this crocodile, right, the shadows is doing all of the highlighting, right? So it's hard for me to tell where he's highlighted on the model or not. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it would be dishonest of me to give commentary in that way. I still think that the Tutankhamun look thing, you know, the gold...
The stripes.
Yeah, the stripes, they still look fantastic. But I really want a more controlled shot of them before I can comment on the jade effect.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the main thing that he's looking for feedback on. All right, I think we should move on. And I'm sorry about this, Peter, but like, because, yeah, I try and always give honest feedback. But
yeah,
yes.
I can understand it because it's a very bright and glossy model.
Yeah.
And if the light is sort of too bright, it just doesn't help it, especially when the model's already bright. You can't see much shadowing and like can't tell where it's painted.
So I will do is I will invite you to take another picture of this one, because I really think that you, like with another picture.
Yeah, maybe with some black paper behind.
Or just in a more controlled environment.
Yeah.
You know, light box, something like that. Let us move on.
Calvinoni.
Yes. So this is more folklore horror. Alright, and we will see whether the computer is going to work for us. So it does have some great color contrast. I like that. I feel like the base is really left behind. I feel like the bone could be brought up a lot, don't you?
More bony color.
More bony color. More brighter and paler.
Yeah.
rather than saturated,
Yeah, because
desaturated.
right now everything sort of looks a bit samey with the cloak or whatever wig that is.
Yeah.
And then the ground as well is kind of the sameish color as everything else.
I think it's a very interesting looking model, but I think you could put a bit more work into it and it'll just really pop quite a bit more.
Because these are very characterful models.
All right.
Oh, look, he's done more Aztecs.
Now, I really liked the last one that he did last time with where they were painted metal.
Yeah.
You know,
unfortunately, I think the
light... photos have not helped you. Guys, come on. Just some paper behind them.
No, I think it's the light that he's used. It's making the model look like it's in blue light sort of thing.
No, I don't... because there's, other things fighting for focus. This is one of the things that frustrates me the most, because I can see that he's put work into these. I can see that he's trying really hard with the color scheme, right? For example, you've got the blues contrasting with the reds and the greens and all this sort of thing, right? He is obviously putting a lot of effort into what he's doing, but we can't see it. We literally can't see it. And it's frustrating because we would like to give you proper feedback.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let us move on. Yes. So Stephen has finished these guys up, and let's read out. But Heather worked on these a little more.
Did she?
Yes.
Good Whip Wednesday, peeps. So I know you all are jumping for some updates on the frogs. So here it is. Over the last few days, I've removed the white flowers, added some bark and plants, added some ferns, and some goopy slime for my slim boy. I think he meant to say slime boy. One of my line frog boys has developed some spots, and I think it's given him some character. Overall, I'm 90% done. Just need to put the names of their roles on the bases and the markers and tokens. If you have suggestions on support crew, let me know. I need a character
and an apothecary. Yeah, so let's take a look. All right, so I think giving more of the goop has really helped out. It's made it so that it's not as right angly here, how it's dripping down now. I think that looks good. I think that this guy's mostly the same as from where we saw him last time. But yeah, those little sticks and such, it does make it feel a lot more... Yeah. I do feel like these right angles are still working against
I think that's fine.
Well, I'm trying to give honest feedback. Oh, that looks really nice though.
Oh, that fern is a very nice addition.
Yes, it does give a much better feel of where you are.
A bit Amazonian, don't you think? Amazonian.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And I do think he did a very good job with bringing out the texture of the frog skin.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it look very realistic. Oh, you nerd frog.
Yes. So I think taking away those... Oh, yes.
The slime. Look at that.
Yes. I do think taking away the white flowers... Also, I think adding the sticks is good for him as well.
Yeah.
I think they look quite good.
Oh, they've got a mossy log in this one.
Yes. So I think you've got a much better feel for where they are now.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know, before it was a bit more confused, but I feel like now we have a lot better idea of where they are. Yeah.
What do you think of this?
So I think this bit right here, this bit right here, hasn't quite come out as well, but I don't think that it's bad.
I can tell he's added more goop to try.
Yeah. But okay, those spots are quite intense, aren't they?
Yeah, he's got chicken pox.
Yes, but it does add a lot of character to him. I do think that all of these linemen are quite identifiable as different characters. Whereas I feel like before that, it wasn't that they were bad. There's nothing wrong with them before. But I feel like they have a lot more character now. Also, I love the ferns.
I do really like
the ferns have come together really well. Like, I think that they're one of those paper craft things where you sort of cut them out and you put them together like that. But it just feels much better. I feel like right now you've got a much more cohesive story to where they are than you did before.
It has that type of plant. It seems like it's very much like where you would find in a Peruvian swamp. Swamp or
a Peruvian swamp, yeah.
Oh, a forest, because like the Aztecs were Peruvian, weren't they?
Like they went across a few different areas. I think the Aztecs were Brazil, Peru. I'm sorry, my South American geography is not the best. Plus, my ancient South American history is not the best either. So, I think that the bases have come together a lot better. I feel like some of the times with the slime, it still hasn't come off as well. But I also noticed that he's added some gravel to some areas. I think that that's come together well, and like just the little things of what really made them come together. I think with a lot of these things, they're, it's just those small steps that make things come together a lot more. I definitely think that the papercraft plants have really stepped it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think that they really changed the feel of the bases.
I feel like the bases, the models are definitely fantastic, but he's made the base quite a feature.
Yes, well, I feel like, he really took that feedback on board, and then he took that and he's like, all right, I'm going to change this. And he did. And it feels much more cohesive, much more intelligible. It feels all correct now. Like there's still some nitpicky things, like I'll say like here with the right angle sort of thing. And like I guess the only way that he's going to get away with that is by actually like pulling out that bit with some clippers and making it more rough edged and then adding the slime. But that seems like things could go wrong, so I don't recommend it. And I'd say, as far as he's gone with the bases, I'd say that they've all come together really well. I wouldn't push for more on these because I feel like he's achieved what he wanted to achieve, which was to get things back to where he was going for. All right, so let us move on. Oh, okay. So what he's done well is the basing. The only thing he could improve is, I guess, learn about the process, right? Oh, and here is the update.
This Heather.
Yes, and Heather is doing the toenails, and like I said here, I said I wanted to do both a laugh and a love because it's hilarious that your lady is painting the nails and you needed somebody to do up the final bits. But I love that your wife is sharing your hobby with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I'll just stick with that comment. All right, so we've got some more whips. I thought this guy was all done.
Yeah, I thought it was finished.
He's still asking about the astrogranite. You should just do the astrogranite yourself. Alright. Do you see different things compared to where we were before?
No.
Okay, let's take a look. Oh, the brains have come up really well. I think he's done this little bit up here. But I think that might be the same as before. I think he's doing an overall showing of them. Maybe there's some more new guys.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
It looks the same.
Alright. Brain carapace working, even the tendrils.
But we already saw the...
Yes. Yes. I'm not sure.
Did we accidentally view his one before?
No, because we saw this and then we saw these guys separately, and I'm not sure. As far as I can tell, we've seen these exact pictures.
That's the exact picture, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what has happened. But, Tyrone. Tyrone's on a rampage this week.
A bit of custom Mando for your Thursday. I attached each individual skull using super glue, tweezers, and a lot of patience.
Well, as all skulls should be added with tweezers and patience. All right, let's take a look. So I think that the Mandos come together quite well, but I do think, ironically enough, that the basing has let you down a bit, because right down here, unless you're going to put blood for the blood god down here or something like that, that pink is
not really helping you.
Yeah,
it looks like skulls on a tennis court.
But the ironic thing is that everything else looks really good. I think that his paint jobs come together really well. I like the cape. I like the metal, because...
It seems metal and capes are his specialty in a way, isn't it?
Well, I think that he's done very well with what he's doing here. There's nothing that I would have a go at with this. I think that this is all very nice. I'd say what he's done well is the model itself, where he, the skulls and all of that look good. But I would say where you could improve is fixing this little pink tennis court area.
If I could just add, the rock seems to have some green slime on it.
Yeah.
So clearly it's mossy. So I can't really tell exactly where he is with the skull, with this location. Because skulls take up so much of it. But if there's a little bit something on the under where the pink is.
I think if that wasn't there, if the pink wasn't there, I think you'd probably love it.
Because maybe he's in a swamp or forest. You don't know. Next. It's a brush stroke.
And he did this up for you. And he was like... And to be fair, brushstroke, that was me with the overindulgence on the stuff there. So I'm not going to blame Sonny for that one. But yeah, I think that was... I think I just had it on too high pressure, which was the issue. Which is ironic because I have it on the same pressure that he does here, right?
30 psi, yeah.
Yeah, but when it was too much. Whereas what I found was did the right sort of thing was 15 to 10 psi, yeah. But yeah, thank you very much for sharing this with us. And this is what community is about. This is really what helps things, I'm a bit lost for words.
Yes, it is what community is about, coming in to help each other out. Seeing that someone is trying to get something out, but everyone else comes and rallies around you.
Yeah.
That's what community is for. Your home away from home. Your family away from family.
Yes.
Someone to come in and give you the pat on the back, the cheer that you need, or just a little slap on your bum sometimes to say, hey, you did the wrongness, here's how you correct it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And last up we have Calvinoni
with Mutant Snail, then Last Pieces from Folklore Horus.
So I think that the snails come together really well. I actually really like his base. I think that it looks quite interesting.
Oh dear. Elmer's glue.
Yes, Elmer's glue featured very nicely in that shot. I think that this is meant to be a mouth here, though. I feel like... Yeah, it is. I feel like you could have brought that more, even if you weren't using green. I know you might not want to use the sort of traditional teeth colours, but maybe like red, just something like with the green, it doesn't quite stand apart from the rest of the model like it should. This is a great shot. This is the shots that we want to see from you, my dude. Just
Ooh.
so these are those folklore horror ones you saw before, which I do believe these are just trees, alien trees. I don't know what's going on
Don't
here.
know what that is. Actually.
But yeah, no, they look quite interesting. But we're going to do one more refresh because it says that I've got something waiting for me. So let's take a look. And if there's nothing there, we'll wrap up. But what I do want to say, guys, is thank you very much for participating in yet another week of the weekly WAYPN. Tyrone, you have absolutely been smashing it out this week. Stephen, I really love to see that you and your wife are getting together to do these things. Cal, please get a backdrop. Okay? Buddy, mate, guy, like you're killing me. You're killing me. And sorry about that one, Pete. Like, I just feel like I don't want to blow smoke and I don't want to give you a bum drum. You know?
Tyrone, the man of capes and metals.
Yes. And I hope, Randon, that that has helped you with the feedback that we've given. Because, you know, he's obviously a very good painter, but I hope that our feedback has helped. Brianna, just go for gold, mate. Okay? Go for gold. Don't hold yourself back. Don't feel afraid. If you don't do great, show us and we'll try and help you get there. Right?
That's what community is for.
Yeah. We are here to try and help you.
Yes.
All right. Joseph, I'm looking forward to seeing that thing all done up. And Davith, post here, not somewhere else. Same goes for you, Steve. Huh? Mate? But yeah, once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Each and every one of you for sharing with this community. And for being a part of it. Because life isn't about later. Life is about now. So, everybody, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.